Hi, I'm Paul Grenon, and I'm here with Martin Rust, the director of the Security and Policy Institute of Professional Development at the University of Ottawa. Today we'll be talking about the government context and in particular and specifically about the security context. Let's start with the big picture. Okay. What is the current landscape of the government and its usage of technology?
Well, that's an enormous question, so thank you very much for having me, first of all. We spend a considerable amount of time here at the Institute talking about government policy and how policy is developed, and of course, more and more today, that involves technology. And by that we mean a variety of different things. It includes the device that you hold in your hand, the smartphone or the iPhone, but it also includes those tablets. It includes all of those devices that we use to talk to one another and communicate with one another. And that's perhaps the visible part, the part that we all see. The part that we don't necessarily see is what some people refer to as the plumbing, the networking part of it. And that's actually it is significant in size and it is significant in scope. There aren't very many organizations, well, really in the world, let alone in Canada, that are as big and as complex as the Canadian government. So if you can think about different sort of industry sectors and different businesses that work in different sectors, pretty much the government is in all of them. It is the biggest conglomerate you can think of. Right. So 350 some odd thousand employees spread across the country and working for a variety of different departments and different agencies. So the technology to support that is significant. And I'm very sympathetic to the folks who try and keep that working every day and to keep the lights on and the wheels turning and certainly try to keep it secure and trying to protect people's information. Right,
and talking about security and the federal government, recently we've seen in the news some major data breaches and hacks. What's your opinion on that? How does that happen and what can we do?
Well, I suppose the good news is it's not just our Canadian government that's getting hacked. It's everybody. Right. It's the hacking of information is prevalent certainly around the world, and there are various types of safeguards in place to protect that information, and our government is no different in a lot of ways than other organizations in trying to protect that. So there are things like firewalls, and there are things that classify information, and there's different types of information, and so that truly classified, top secret information that one would expect the government or a government to have is actually very well protected. So the hacks and the breaches that we see tend to be at the outer edges. So that information that's not really all that sensitive. Of course it's sensitive because it involves personal information in some cases, but it's not that hardcore top secret information that we see on television all the time, that the television shows glamorize in terms of how easy it is to hack into various things. It's actually not very easy to hack into those core systems and those secure areas. That said, those data breaches at the edges are happening more and more and more. And one of the things that we know from various studies is that when organizations, and I say organizations because that could mean a private individual who's doing the hack from their basement somewhere, or it could be an estate organization. We know that they tend to be inside the organization that they're hacking for long periods of time. So in some cases it's 200 days, 300 days that they're inside that organization before the organization even realizes that they're there. So part of the response to that is organizations like Shared Services Canada, the Communications Security Establishment, and others are getting very, very good now at identifying when those breaches happen and shutting them down much, much faster.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Martin. My name is Paul Grenon, and I'm here with the Centre for Continuing Education's Security and Policy Institute of Professional Development. Today's guest was Martin Rust, the director, and thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.